Hi, I'm Jodie Johnston. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher, and I wanted to share why yoga and meditation changed my life in the hope that it might give you some inspiration. So, I've been practicing yoga for probably over 15 years, and I kept dabbling with it on and off, knowing that it was good for me, but didn't really take it um, as seriously until about 6 years ago, when I guess I reached a point in my life where I knew something had to change. I knew I was just really unhappy. I didn't really know why. Um, but yeah, yoga kind of helped me to figure out what was going on and get me on the path to feeling much more like myself. Um, so I guess for me, I spent the first chunk of my life people pleasing to the max. Like my whole life was about, my joy came from saying yes to everybody else, letting everybody else take a lead, being a good girl and doing well and being liked, um, but also making other people feel like they were heard as well. But when it came to trying to figure out what I wanted from my life, I had no clue. And I ended up working in an office for over 10 years, which just didn't suit me. I knew I wasn't happy there. I knew I was working really hard to do a good job, but it just didn't suit my nature at all. So I got myself into quite a mess with anxiety and all the health conditions that come with that. But I felt completely trapped and lost. Like I didn't know why I was unhappy. And to tell people I was unhappy just sounded really ungrateful for the fact that, I had a good job and a good job, how it looks on paper to people. Um, and also I couldn't explain why. So I just felt really lost for a long time until yoga came into my life. And um, it basically, yoga prepares you for meditation. So it's all about sitting and becoming aware of your thinking patterns, and also to start um, taming the mind, the monkey mind as we call it in yoga. So redirecting the attention to where we want it to go. And this was a revelation for me because up until that point, I just thought, this is who I am. I'm very go with the flow. I told myself, I don't mind. I genuinely don't mind about things. I'm happy for other people to take a lead. Um, but as I was moving up the ladder in the office life, there was a need for me to be able to have an opinion, stand up for myself, and be assertive. And I just did not have the skills. I've never ever learned them. Um, I was afraid of them because to me, I couldn't really distinguish between assertiveness and aggression, because it's just something that, in honesty, our whole family are not very good with. So yeah, I was really stuck in my life, and there was this mismatch, and I didn't know how to move forward really until I built this inner awareness. But also with yoga, like when I was sort of going to it on and off, you just got this like great high afterwards. Obviously, you get endorphins from an exercise class, but it was different with yoga, like this calm, really chilled Zen vibe, almost like when you've been to a spa for a day and you just feel like you've given your body the most wonderful treat and you just don't want to undo that great feeling. So I'd come out of yoga feeling like, um, it made me crave looking after myself. I thought, this feels good. It feels really good to give myself attention, and it felt like a real treat. I thought, should it be? Should life feel like this? Um, so the more I got into it, yeah, the more I didn't enjoy the way I was feeling normally day to day. But it also made me aware of my habits and behaviours around alcohol and carbs, chocolate. Like I was terrible for um, because I didn't know how to deal with issues. I'd find comfort in eating to a point of just not knowing how to stop until I had to make myself sick, because I was trying to address this dissatisfaction inside, because I wasn't being true to myself. And the same with alcohol. I mean, I was pretty socially awkward when I was younger, but covered that over by being drunk. And then I felt like I was okay, I'm good fun when I've had a drink, but really the problem was I was in the wrong situation, I suppose, for myself, or I just wasn't comfortable being the real me, which was a bit of a problem. So for me, I felt like yoga and meditation were kind of like a good high, like the kind of high that really helps you, rather than the kind of high that you'll get from alcohol or eating really bad food and even drugs. The more I did yoga, the more I was getting in tune with myself. My gut feeling about things got stronger. It got harder to ignore that feeling, and this was just gradual over time. The more I did the meditation, the more I started to respect my intuition. So I learned through signals from my body and mind the way to feel better about myself at my core was to give myself and my body the attention that it needed, and to prioritise what I needed above everything else. And that was really hard because I didn't know how to put myself first and how to start saying to people, sorry, no. I've always been saying yes to everything, but now I'm saying no. So then a lot of work came from that, which is for another time. But, meditation and yoga were a really important starting point in becoming aware of the problems that faced me, and that I needed to address it if I wanted any kind of happiness that I was looking for. So I guess it got me on the path to becoming familiar with who I am and living a life that I wanted to live. And I think I was unhappy before, and I didn't know why, because I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know what I really liked and didn't like. And it's only through tuning in with your own intuition and your own needs that you can discover that. No amount of looking outwards to anybody else can ever answer that. You can only ever do this by bringing the attention inside, noticing the thoughts that keep coming and going. What's coming up? Why is it coming up? Notice how the body feels when these feelings are coming up. Just starting to slowly make sense through feelings of what's going on. And then over time, starting to realise, okay, that feels wrong, that feels right, changing course correcting constantly. And then things get clearer. And a big thing that came from that was starting to write a diary, sort of getting these intuitive feelings into words, onto paper, dealing with them one at a time. But again, for another time, I think. So yeah, I started to believe that putting myself first was important, not just for me, but for everybody. And actually, I noticed that people started to respect me a lot more when I learned how to push back, not in an aggressive way, but in a kind and loving way. And that was through starting very, very small, just little by little, day by day. So I'm super, super grateful that I found yoga and meditation. It's completely changed the trajectory of my life. It's saved my relationship with Carl, and we're now married. It's just changed so much for me. It's given me, it gave me the belief that I could change who I was, and that I could live life the way I wanted to live it. So I really hope that you find yoga and meditation so beneficial as well, and that you can find some time to prioritise it in your day. I would say that even just 2 or 3 minutes a day is better than 30 minutes once a week. Just little and often every day works absolute magic on your life. So I really hope this has been helpful. Let me know if there have been any insights, and let me know how I can help you going forward. Bye.